Hello dear students, today in this video we will discuss another very famous poem, Four Little Foxes, written by Lou Sarett. Poet, lecturer and teacher. Lou Sarett was born in Chicago to parents who immigrated from Poland and Lithuania. He was educated at University of Michigan Ann Arbor, Beloit College, Harvard Law School, and the University of Illinois Law School. Sarett became interested in nature and American Indian culture and lore at an early age, and these interests are clearly reflected in his life and in his poetry. He was born on 16 May 1888 in Chicago and died in 1954 in United States. Some of his books are The Box of God and Many, Many Moons. Four Little Foxes. Speak gently, spring, and make no sudden sound, for in my windy valley yesterday I found newborn foxes squirming on the ground. Speak gently. Walk softly, march, forbear the bitter blow. Her feet within a trap, her blood upon the snow. The four little foxes saw their mother go. Walk softly. Go lightly, spring, oh give them no alarm, when I covered them with boughs to shelter them from harm. The thin blue foxes suckled at my arm. Go lightly. Step softly, march with your rampant hurricane, nuzzling one another and whimpering with pain. The new little foxes are shivering in the rain. Step softly. Let us now discuss the poem Four Little Foxes. This poem describes a very sad scene in the woods, when on a cold March morning, the speaker finds a dead fox in a trap, with four cubs lying helpless beside her. The cubs are so small that they have not even opened their eyes. When the speaker tries to shelter them using boughs of a tree, the foxes try and suckle his arm, thinking that the warmth is from their mother. As the speaker leaves with a very heavy heart, the cubs huddle together in the freezing wind and rain. Though this entire narrative, the speaker pleads with different elements of nature to be kind to the poor, helpless foxes. The poet wants to shed light on how the thoughtless action of a man can have disastrous consequences for other creatures. He personifies different aspects of nature, asking them to show mercy on the cubs in doing so. He makes us realize that he is looking for qualities of kindness and mercy in inanimated things because these qualities are absent in human beings. He repeats his request to the different elements in different tones. This repetition makes us understand the extent of the cruelty that the cubs have borne and the importance of ensuring that we are mindful of the way we interact with nature. Let us now discuss the literary devices used in this poem. The literary devices that are used in this poem are first, rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem or song. Or we can also say that rhyme scheme is the rhyming pattern that is created at the end of each line of a poem. In this poem, the first stanza, the rhyme pattern is, or the rhyme scheme is A, sound, found, ground, gently. In the second stanza, the rhyme scheme is C, blow, snow, go, and softly. In the third stanza, the rhyme scheme is D, alarm, harm, arm, lightly. And in the last stanza, the rhyme scheme is C, hurricane, pain, rain, and softly. The second literary device used in this poem is repetition. Repetition is a literary device that involves using the same word or phrase over and over again. Repetition is used in poetry to make the poem more interesting. Throughout the poem, Four Little Foxes, poet uses plenty of repetition. For example, speak gently. It is stated at the beginning and at the end of the first stanza. Walk softly is also repeated in the beginning and at the end of the second stanza. Go lightly. It is stated at the beginning and at the end of the third stanza, and likely step softly. It is also repeated in the beginning and at the end of the fourth stanza. Third literary device used in this poem is imagery. The imagery plays a very important part in this poem. It really helps the reader to visualize the actions that are going on throughout the poem. In the poem, there is plenty of imagery. For example, first, newborn foxes squirming on the ground. This is sight because the speaker can see the baby foxes. Second, suckled on my arm. This is a feeling because the speaker can feel it. Third, whimpering with pain. This is sound because the speaker can hear it. Fourth literary device used in this poem is tone. This poem creates a very sad tone. You get the feeling of sadness and sorrow as the four little foxes have lost their mother. In this poem, there are many moments that makes you feel sad. For example, first, her feet within the trap, her blood upon the snow. Second, the four little foxes saw their mother go. Third, whimpering with pain.